Well, hello there. Today we have a book for you from the 1950s, 1956 in fact, and it's Wumpy's Christmas Gift, and it's by Nancy Nash and illustrated by Richard Floth. And let's see, it's held together quite well over the years, I must say. And here we go, Wumpy's Christmas Gift. Wumpy, the nursery elephant, shuffled along, swinging his trunk to and fro, like a pendulum of a clock. His bright eyes peered first on one side and then on the other. He was looking for his cotton stuffing that had dropped out the day before. He wanted to put it back so he would be fat and fine again for the Christmas party. Everyone wanted to be beautiful for Christmas. Fat and fine, Wumpy rumbled through his trunk as he swayed along. Suddenly a bit of fuzz on the carpet tickled his nose. Hurrumph! Sneezed Wumpy. It was a big sneeze and a long nose that took quite a time. Then there was a frightened squeak. "Who's there?" called Wumpy. "I was, but you blew me away," squeaked the white mouse, poking his excited whiskers out from under his big chair. "Oh, it's you, Whisk. I'm glad to see you. Come on over." "Wumpy, are you going to harumph any more?" Wumpy shook his head. "Then I'll come out." Whisk scurried over to Wumpy's feet and settled down between them. "Whatever in the world is the matter with you, Wumpy? Your legs are all bendy," squeaked Whisk. Wumpy hung his head and looked for a trifle foolish. "I know it. I was so excited about Christmas that my seams popped and I lost a lot of my stuffing. My legs feel very strange, and he lifted his sagging feet one at a time and set them down carefully. "You will have to get fixed up before the party the way I did. I had moth holes all over my back, but I patched them up with some little bits of fur I found. Do you think it looks all right?" Whisk humped his back the better to show off his fine new coat. Wumpy stared and stared at Whisk. Then he blinked and huffled through his long nose. That new fur coat wasn't fur at all. It was some of his own cotton stuffing that he had lost, a piece of himself, and the very piece he was searching all over the nursery to find. But Whisk was so happy he couldn't ask to have it back. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to find these pages. "Is it all right, Wumpy?" the mouse asked anxiously. "Why, it's fine, perfectly fine," comforted Wumpy. And Whisk was so pleased he smiled clear to the tip of his tail. "If I only had a tiny bit more to patch up the bare spot under my chin, I wouldn't be ashamed to hold my head up when we sing carols around the tree. But I can't find another speck." Wumpy looked at the floppy feet and then at Whisk. It would take such a little piece. Wumpy flicked out a bit of fluff and offered it to Whisk. "Oh, Wumpy, where did you find it? Oh, won't I be fine?" And Whisk scampered off to patch up his chin. You might notice that the English has changed over the last, 70 years or so, just a little bit. I'll find it soon, Wumpy crooned to himself as he wobbled along on his way around the nursery. When he came to the dollhouse, the mother doll hurried down the walk to meet him. "Oh, Wumpy, Wumpy, look at the new wig. Now I can go to the Christmas party. I was so tired of hiding because I had no hair." Wumpy looked at Mother Doll, blinked and looked again. Sure enough, the lovely new white hair was some more of the stuffing he was trying hard to find for himself. "Do you like it, Wumpy? Do I look well enough to go to the party?" And Mother Doll turned slowly around in front of him so he could see how pretty her hair was. She was so happy. It's beautiful, Wumpy tipped his head, first on one side and then on the other to admire it. "Thank you, Wumpy. A little more would make it long enough to fix it as it was when I was new." It would only take a speck more, thought Wumpy. He tweaked out a bit more of his stuffing and gave it to her. "Oh, Wumpy, what a darling you are. Where did you find it? I have looked all over for some." And Mother Doll ran up the path to the dollhouse to fix her new hairdo. Wumpy wobbled on. "Wonder where I'll find myself next." Harump bump. Down he sat. "Dear, dear," said Wumpy, "I must have come to the end of my feet." He picked himself up and stumped along on what was left of his bendy legs. He was getting so wobbly now that it tired him to walk. His insides were giving him a sort of gone feeling, but there ahead of him he could see the Christmas tree the dollhouse dolls were trimming. "About 3 more falls and I'll be there," thought Wumpy, and so he was. "Oh, beautiful, beautiful," he murmured. Never before had the nursery tree been so lovely, for there were now white snow shimmering on the green branches. Wumpy wobbled around the tree and blinked at the snow. Then he saw that beneath those sparkles was more cotton stuffing, some more of himself. Wumpy gasped. It was long enough to make him fat and fine again, but oh, how could he spoil the wonderful tree? "Wumpy, isn't it lovely, lovely, lovely?" sang the dolls dancing around. "Now if we could only find enough more to make a star." And see them at the bottom of the tree? Wumpy wrinkled his forehead, then while the dolls were looking at the empty spot at the top of the tree, he tweaked out another bit of cotton and gave it to them. "What a wonder you are, Wumpy," cried the dolls. "We couldn't find any." And they began to fashion a star for the tippy top of the tree. Soon it was finished and sprinkled with shimmering stardust. There on the topmost branch it twinkled and shone, the loveliest thing of all the Christmas decorations, and it was all his, Wumpy's. He had given the star. And see, they put it on the very top of the tree. Now Wumpy's legs were so bendy they crumpled up under him, and he had to curl his trunk under the leg of a chair to pull himself along. Around the other side of the chair he found one of the dolls sweeping pieces of bright-colored paper into a pile. They had been left over after making decorations for the tree. "Oh dear," cried the doll, "I shall never get this paper cleared away. The more I sweep, the bigger the pile gets, and I don't know what to do with it." You can see that big pile under the chair. Wumpy coasted up to her. "Oh, I know just what to do with it," he said excitedly, and he began poking bits of the paper into his legs where the cotton stuffing had come out. He pushed some of the red and green in his front feet with his wrinkly trunk, and then some blue and yellow in his hind legs. He chortled and rumbled and huffled and squeaked with delight as he felt himself growing stronger and stronger. Then Wumpy kicked up his heels and trumpeted for joy. Never had he felt so light and gay. Never had there been so happy a party in the nursery as on that Christmas. And Wumpy, the little stuffed elephant, was the happiest of all. And that's where we put the end, as they did in later books. Well, we hope you enjoyed that story. We'll see you next time. Bye.